buckle in, dude. It's gonna suck.
Put your hand on the screen.
How did they find out? Who was the one?
This show has gotten infinitely more gay.
The mystical land of New Jersey.
I don't understand how the laws in this country work anymore.
Hey, welcome to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut, and, uncensored on WSRR Radio. To my right, Shane A.
Hey, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Howdy.
I'm Radio's Rebel DJ style. You can always tell when I don't know that we're going live right away.
Yeah. You started with, hey.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That was new.
You hit us with the
I like
Lego
that.
hay.
Hey! We'll get back to that in a little bit. But first, we got to talk about Synergy Music Studio. They're based out of Chicago. They're here to help independent artists in the Chicago area and abroad with recording, mixing, mastering, session work, producing, even reamping, and more. Go to synergymusicstudio.com for their full lexicon of services. Hit them up and get booked today. Synergymusicstudio.com, a proud supporter of local and independent music and WSRR Radio. How do you feel about animals? Big animal rights guy? Big PETA guy?
PETA.
I knew that was coming as soon as I fucking said that.
I enjoy
There goes that transition.
animals. Transition. I enjoy animals.
Comedy.
Comedy. I like them. I think I like
Yeah, I like
puppies
Mark Norman.
and dogs and bunnies and I like all kinds of animals.
They say a dog is a man's best friend.
Not mine.
Not this one.
Not this-
Not this fucking dog.
Not this dog.
No. I got that dog in me.
I do. I
ain't-
got that
I
dog
ain't no
in
one's
me.
best friend. Tell me about this man who was shot by his dog.
Listen,
Yeah. I'm listening. No, I'm listening. I want to hear.
we got to go down to Memphis.
Yeah.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And talk about
This is what's going on down there nowadays.
It
really hasn't been the same since Elvis down there. They got fucking dogs shooting people and shit.
They actually don't. Wait, they don't name the man. What the fuck?
To be fair, if my dog shot me, I wouldn't want my name in the paper.
I'm just going to read you guys the whole article, and I'll let you form your opinions for yourselves.
Yeah.
A man was shot early Monday morning by an unusual suspect. Police said that they were called to a home in Whitney Avenue near Thomas Street just before 4 a.m. The man told officers that he was with a woman in bed when his dog jumped up, got his paw stuck in the trigger, ended up hitting the trigger, and he was grazed by the bullet in his left thigh, police said. The news team spoke with the woman who was there at the time of the shooting. She told Fox 13 that the dog, who was a pit bull, was named Oreo. The woman left the scene with the gun, and officers found only one spent shell casing, and the man was taken to Regional 1, their medical facility, in a non-critical condition.
This is not going to help the pro-pit bull people.
It's not.
The anti-pit bull movement is going to be crazy.
They
after
have
this
guns
one.
now.
They have guns.
The
Not
pit
only
bull-
were they attacking children, now they have guns.
The gun wheel. We need to outlaw
This
the
is getting out of
gun-wielding
hand.
pit bulls.
We need to put a stop to pit bulls, guys.
They're shooting people.
Mr. Worldwide has gone fucking nuts, shooting a man in Memphis.
So clearly the woman that was with this guy just shot him, and then I'm assuming the guy
Fled the scene.
fled the scene, and then the guy's like covering for her.
I don't think it's-
'cause
I don't think it's so cut and paste like that.
well, first of all, I do think it is that cut and dry, but how cut and paste do you think it
I
is?
think it's Control C, Control V, baby.
Oh.
I don't think that's it. I don't think you're right on your speculation.
What? Okay, what's your speculation?
I think this guy shot himself.
oh,
I think his gun
I like
misfired.
that. I like
because,
that.
Because he was sleeping with
Yeah,
it?
no, questions right off the bat. So he opens his alibi saying that he was in bed with this woman.
Mhm.
Doesn't say who she was, by the way. Just some woman
Yeah, that's
was in bed with this woman.
like if it was his wife,
Right.
They'd say this
His wife.
the man accompanied by his wife,
right. Or, his partner.
Right.
His,
It's a little suspicious.
just a woman.
It's a little suspicious that
Just
it's
happened
just
to be there.
a woman.
Some lady.
Yeah.
There's just a woman there.
Yeah.
Does his wife know that there's a woman there?
His dog certainly did. I know that
his
much.
dog said, "This
Did
is
not
wrong.
like
I'm
it.
gonna shoot you."
He said, "This is my spot in the fucking bed." Lucky for her, dogs have terrible aim.
You're cheating on mom. I'm going to shoot you now.
But it was dark, and dogs only see in black and white, so
True.
you know.
True.
No, there's a strange woman there.
Yeah, a mystery woman,
A strange woman.
a mystery female assailant.
Yes, is in bed with this man. Doesn't even say they're sleeping. They're just in bed.
We don't know what they're
with
doing.
a gun.
They could be doing anything in that bed.
There's a gun there, though.
They could be having gun practice in bed.
I would assume
recon training in
I would
bed.
assume even maybe the TV was a little far away,
Gun safety,
and the guy was
perhaps.
looking down the sight at
Yeah,
the TV
yeah, looking
because he
down
didn't have
his-
binoculars or
yeah.
glasses.
Yeah,
So that might have been what he was doing. He was
Also-
just aiming down the sights
yeah.
to get a better view on the TV. He's got ADHD. He couldn't focus, so he had to focus down the sight. It helped him out. So he's in gun with a woman in a bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's
And-
in bed with a woman in a gun, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, not in gun with a woman in a bed.
And then what?
Oh, the gun went off
Oh,
as soon as the dog came in.
it happened. That's just how it
It's
happened.
just how, hey, sometimes it be like that, you know?
The guns just go off.
It may not seem like it be like it is, but it do.
You know?
So it says that
The real Alec Baldwin situation. The gun just went off.
It says that the bullet grazed his left thigh.
All right, so let's...
Is it the inside or the outside of the left thigh? I
Ooh,
think
good
that's.
question.
I think that's an important.
Yeah.
You know, but also I think no matter like I partially agree with what you said. He could have also shot himself because I think it is definitely still possible to accidentally shoot yourself
Yeah.
in the side of the left thigh.
Yeah, all actuality, what I'm thinking happened is this man had his gun on him in bed for some reason.
Yeah, I feel
Chambered.
I feel like the gun was in the bed,
Yeah.
and that is probably
Yeah.
like this guy fell asleep with his gun in his
Yeah,
bed.
to
or
me,
something.
they weren't fooling around. I think this dude was like fully clothed, in bed, gun in his pocket or in his waistband, chambered, safety off, dude strapped,
Right,
does
right.
not trust
Ready to
whoever this
shoot.
strange woman is.
There's a
Really.
strange woman in my
Yeah.
bed. I'm strapped.
Yeah,
I'm
he
not
was,
gonna.
he was
Yeah.
taking chances here.
Right.
So he was prepared. He had protection. He had his strap on him, his jammy.
Had a condom on it
yeah.
and a gun out.
He had a condom on the gun, in fact. Yeah, the safety off with the gun in his waistband is what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe, so either one of two things happened. He turned and, like, fired his pistol. Doesn't say pistol, by the way, either.
Yeah,
We're just
it-
assuming it's a pistol.
What if it was like a shotgun
Rifle just in his bed with him, hugging it. His pistol, assumingly, was discharged
Mhm.
and grazed his thigh. Either because he turned and hit it and discharged it accidentally,
Right.
or because the dog did genuinely jump in the bed
Also
and
possible.
the gun was in his
Yeah.
pocket
Also
and
possible.
stepped on the
Yeah, right.
on
The
the
dog.
hammer. Yeah,
The dog like steps on
nail
the gun.
grabs
the
Or, like
trigger.
yeah, scratched the
the dog's paw goes to step down on the
Yeah.
bed. It gets stuck in like the safety thing over the trigger.
yeah.
And then it gets stuck
He
in there.
pulls.
Tries to move out. Pulls the trigger.
Yeah.
That's possible. It's not impossible.
That's the story he wants you to think, anyway.
Right,
Like,
right.
If
But
he is
why
telling
leave
the
with
story
the gun?
don't you?
Because
Don't
yeah.
you sleep with a gun in the with a bullet in the chamber and the safety off?
Like
I
this
do.
This is one of those things where if this is what did happen, you have to fess up and call yourself an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to like come to the news and be like, legitimately, this is what happened. I'm a dumbass. I apologize. Like, I should not have been sleeping with the gun in the bed.
Which also crazy that you're giving this alibi to the police. Like the police took this, and this is the story.
Right.
The cop wasn't like, "All right, that's not what fucking happened, dude. What went on here?"
I'm just so confused. The first sentence is the man told officers that he was with a woman in bed when his dog jumped up, got his paw stuck in the trigger, ended up hitting the trigger, and he was grazed by the bullet in his left eye. It doesn't state anywhere
Where the gun was or
yeah,
why
it
it
doesn't,
was there.
Right. Nowhere in the article does it. Because by the way,
There was not a gun in that first sentence.
The
Then the
article-
dog comes in, then there's a gun.
well, the other thing, the article is only 3
He brought it in.
paragraphs. It's not like they didn't give us much to work with
What
here.
more do you need?
They told Fox 13 told us there was a dog, there was a gun, someone got shot. You connect the dots.
Yeah, you know,
we don't.
come on. Happens
We don't
all the
know.
time. Real cut and dry case here, folks.
Told us the
Nothing to
name
see
of the
here.
dog. What the fuck kind of info? This is not
They're
viable.
looking for him.
That is not viable
That's
information.
a wanted man.
Yeah. Did they do anything with the dog? What, like, there's so many unanswered.
Yeah, listen, if it's a dog, he needs charged. If the dog genuinely did it, they need to fucking lock him up.
They do. They need to
They
lock
send
this
him to the
dog up
pound.
for at least 3 to 6.
Oh, yeah.
That was a felony misdemeanor with a lethal weapon.
Yeah.
That's
That-
wrong.
he
Actually,
could be tried for attempted murder.
He's not a registered
If-
firearm owner.
He
If-
does not.
right,
He
not his
is
gun.
not a legal firearm owner.
Yeah.
That's true.
If this man really wanted to, if he had a good lawyer, he could probably get him for attempted murder.
We don't
He
know.
might
Is,
get him put down.
is this dog an American citizen? This might be an illegal
That's
alien.
true, yeah, we don't know. I gotta see some paperwork.
What the hell's going on? These illegal alien animals shooting our people.
So not only did all this happen, but then the woman flees with the gun.
That's what I'm saying. None of
Why?
this is adding up. And all of the information that they gave...
That is the only thing I agree with you on, that it was probably her, is that she left with the gun. Because why
Right.
else?
Well, and like...
Whose gun?
Why? It's... the way that... The article is only 3 paragraphs long, and each paragraph makes the story more confusing than the last. The first paragraph gives you the information of where it was. It was Whitney Avenue, Thomas Street, just before 4 a.m.
Obviously.
The man... And then it gives you what the man told the officers, not even what the officers saw, like not even their write-up of the situation.
They say, listen, there's a man, a woman, a dog, and a gun.
Yeah,
Figure it out.
It doesn't tell you where the gun was, if it was in the bed, or if it was like in the guy's pocket, or if it was in the girl's pocket.
Also, I know it probably is, but usually with stories like this, there's a mention that like the animal was not harmed.
Yeah, right.
That doesn't say that.
Doesn't say
There's
that.
no follow-up on this dog.
It doesn't give the people's names. It gives the dog's name, but not the people's names.
Because he's going to be a convicted felon soon.
And then it ends with, it leaves you on a cliffhanger, this news article from Fox 13. It says, the woman left the scene with the gun and officers found only one spent shell casing. The man was taken to Regional 1 in non-critical condition. That's it. That's where the article ends.
We didn't catch this girl.
Yeah,
we
the
don't know
girl
the name.
fled and she's gone.
No relation with the gun.
We don't even know if they're still working on the case.
We don't know whose gun it is. Is my issue.
It was the dog's
It was-
gun.
He brought it.
The
Brought it
dog
to the party. There was no gun until the dog entered the story.
The dog actually was the legal owner and does have permits. We just don't
The
know
man
that yet.
shot the gun
Yeah,
and
yeah.
doesn't want to get charged, so he said, hey, the dog fired it.
The dog shot the gun to protect the woman from the man. It was
Yes,
actually
she fled.
yeah. She fled
But
for
he
her.
also didn't want the dog to get in trouble, so he
Right.
took the hit.
The dog waited until police showed up at the scene to make sure that the woman was safe. And
Yeah, no statement from the dog either.
what the fuck?
Crazy story. Fox 13 might look at this and go, yeah, slow news day, put this in there. To me, if I'm at Fox 13, buddy, this is like a 9-page story.
Yeah.
I got a lot to say about this. I got
Yeah.
interviews to go do. I am backpack journalism this shit. I'll be man on the street with the neighbors. Like, so it's 3 a.m. You hear a gunshot and a woman leave. Who do you think did it? You hear any
Here's the
barking?
thing. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, this is local news. If I'm
Buddy, this is the most local news.
if I live like on the same block as this, I want to know what's going on. This
Hey.
article is not suffice.
Hey, Bill, your dog's still packing?
Yeah, your dog's still shooting people.
You stay away from that house over there. That dog's strapped.
You know that pit bull Oreo down the way? Yeah, it shoots people now. Stay the fuck away.
I'm thinking maybe obedience training or something.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what you do with this one, but something's got to change.
Yeah, obedience.
This used to be a nice
training.
neighborhood.
What the fuck is going on
We used
with
to have a dog park.
Listen, at first I was a little upset with the potential dog shooting the person. I'm now more upset with Fox 13
Where's the
Memphis.
follow-up? Yeah. Give me the reporter.
This is brown journalism. This is not yellow.
Poopy.
This is poop journalism. What is what this is.
We've given you more to the story than Fox 13 has.
Yeah. We should be Memphis news hosts.
Probably. They'll probably syndicate us after this. We'll
One
probably
day.
go syndicate on Fox 13 after
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
They'll say, why are we hiring Brian Williams, whoever the hell is doing this?
These guys are doing it way better.
Yeah. They're asking the hard-hitting questions.
Pitbull's Fox 13 spoke with the woman. Wait, and that's the other confusing thing. Fox 13 spoke to the woman who was at the scene of the shooting. She told Fox 13 the dog's name was Pitbull and that the dog was an Oreo.
No,
And that-
other way around. The dog's name was Oreo, and he was a pit bull.
Whatever. Does not matter. The very next article, or the very next sentence is, the woman left the scene with the gun, and officers found only one spent shell casing. Was Fox 13 helping the woman flee the scene?
Fox 13 showed up with the microphone. The woman was standing in front with the gun in hand, and they went, what happened here? She goes, well, it's a pit bull, and his name's Oreo. I got to go.
I gotta run.
All right, thanks for your time, ma'am.
Yeah.
What a nice bystander we ran into outside
What
of the
the
house.
fuck is going on? in Memphis?
216-859-8699 if you know where to send my dog for target practice.
you ready, kids? It's me, distinctively non-copyright, unspecified Sponge Man, and you're listening to the Rebel Radio Show on WSRR. Make the switch.
I went back to the well yesterday.
You gotta stop, man.
I know.
I thought you were
It just
clean. You were
draws
like
me in.
you were like 3 weeks clean.
The aura of the well.
I know. It really does aura farm on us.
It does.
We just drive past it and we're like, fuck. Could go to the well.
I was at the mall, and I saw, like, the fountain in the mall where kids throw pennies.
PTSD.
Yeah,
I
and
get
I'm
it.
like, that's some crazy RNG right
I
there. I
get it
gotta
all
hit
the
that
time.
well. I
get
gotta
it all
hit
the
that
time.
well. But I did only throw $1 in,
That's
so you know, I didn't tank my income.
Right. That's
Um,
good.
However, I do think I could have spent my $1 better. I probably could have entered the WSRR Behind Enemy Lines Generic Close March Madness Tournament. Of course, bracketology starts March 16th. Is when you can pick your bracket. Of course, none of us know anything about basketball. Even on Behind Enemy Lines, they said they don't know anything about college basketball. So your guess is as good as mine, but you can enter the March Madness Tournament right now by Venmoing yes just $1 to @WSRR Radio. That's 3 R's in there. WSRR Radio. Make sure you send us some contact info, either an email or a number we can send that invite link to. You'll get your confirmation, you'll get into the bracket pool, and from there, you have a chance to take home the contest winner t-shirt brought to you by GenericClothes.com. Nobody cares about the details. Get to the point with GenericClothes.com. Shirts for any occasion and the perfect gift. So, for just $1, enter the March Madness Tournament. Again, March 16th is the date when bracketology begins. March 18th is the day that March Madness begins, so you want to get in before then at WSRR Radio on Venmo. $1 to enter. If you have any questions, 216-859-8699 is the number to text. It also works today for the Rebel Radio Show. However, we won't be able to help you if you've swallowed jewelry. You might need to contact the hospital for that. Possibly the police.
I like swallowing.
Cut it. Clip it.
Clip that.
Clip that. Chat. Clip that. He's cooked.
I want it clipped. I want it clipped.
I want to listen back to it later. What am I looking at here? Why is
What's
this man
going on?
swallowing jewelry?
So this guy walked into. His name is Jathan Gilder.
Jathan?
Jathan.
His name is Jathan?
Jaythan.
Arrest him on his name alone.
Jason.
His name is not Jathan.
I
Fuck
had
you.
to, I
Fuck
had to read
you.
that to believe
Yeah.
that. Jason.
Fuck you, Jathan.
He walked into a
You're a
Tiffany
criminal before you
company.
did anything. Your parents need to be locked up. Jathan.
I didn't make it 32 years. I guess everybody
I
just
would have
calls.
bullied the shit out. No, I know they call him Jay.
Everybody just calls him Jay.
The second I find out your name is Jathan, I am never calling you anything else.
As soon as they, hey, what's it short for? You're like, Jonathan.
Couldn't go with Jonathan. Couldn't go with James.
Yeah,
Just couldn't pick?
anything.
Anything but Jathan.
Maybe that's Jay Usos.
Jathan Uso.
Jathan Uso.
You tell that to anyone, they'll look at you and go, that's not a real name. You're making that up. That's some dumb shit. Nah, this 30-year-old man walking around. 32-year-old grown-ass man walking around with the name Jathan. Change it.
He definitely got his ass beat.
You're an adult.
At least
Fucking
once.
change it. Just shorten it to Jay
At
legally.
least once. All right,
I'll beat his ass today.
We got it out of our system. We made fun of his name.
Yeah.
What's going on with him?
So he walked into a Tiffany and Company, and it was in a mall in Molina. I don't know where that is, but he claimed to be a representative of the Orlando Magic basketball of an Orlando Magic basketball player.
So he was just saying, he's like, I'm not an athlete, but I'm a representative for an athlete.
He was like an
Yeah.
agent for a player for the Magic.
Yeah.
I wonder how far in life you can get by saying that.
That wouldn't do anything for me. I don't First of all, I wouldn't give a shit if you walked in and said you played for the Magic. I really wouldn't.
No, but I'm just saying, like put on a high-vis vest and you can walk into a festival.
Right.
How far can you go if you say, well, I represent Cody Rhodes?
I don't think anyone, either they're not going to believe you, or it doesn't matter, because
make
you're
up-
not Cody Rhodes.
You make up fake credentials, though, because then it's something like, well, say in a situation like you want to look at really expensive jewelry.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure. You're a little hungry.
Yeah, maybe you're feeling a little hungry,
A little peckish.
little nippy.
Yeah.
I feel like it's on the workers then to be like, prove it.
Yeah, right.
But they shouldn't have to. Being an agent for someone doesn't qualify you as a celebrity. And being a celebrity shouldn't qualify you to get special treatment.
But it does.
But being an agent doesn't.
But I think it does. Is the
It
thing.
shouldn't.
Clearly, it does in this situation.
All right, why
But
are we talking
anyway,
about him? Yeah.
As
sorry.
soon as he
we just
told
hate
them,
this guy.
as soon as he told them, like, hey, I work for this guy, he was escorted straight to the VIP room.
He have a
and-
VIP room.
See, that's what I'm saying.
at Tiffany's.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
He was shown several high-end pieces of jewelry, and he was shown a pair of 4.86 carat diamond earrings worth $1,600, a pair of 8.19 carat diamond earrings worth like over $7,100. The ones that he ended up,
$700,000.
yes, I believe the ones that he ended up swallowing were over seven. Oh yeah,
We didn't get to that part. Yeah, no,
No.
he ate earrings. That's why we're talking about this.
Yeah, yeah,
He ate a pair of almost $770,000 earrings.
yeah.
Just
Wait.
because?
Yeah, police later released an X-ray that appeared to show the individual's abdomen with foreign objects, and so yeah, he did. And
So did they call the police because he ate them, or did he eat them because the police were called?
or what, did they go missing and nobody knew where they were? Type thing. Like, did they turn around and he?
I have to like
Put it on your Fox 13 hat.
I have to put on my Fox 13 hat and go to hypothetical land and pretend that I'm there.
Yeah.
I imagine this situation went down like a sales associate turns around or like goes away for a minute, lets this representative, quote unquote, look at the jewelry, whatever it is. Quote unquote representative thinks that he's slick, swallows the earrings, and then sales associate comes back, says,
Realizes they're gone.
yo, where are the earrings? Dude says, I don't know. IDK fam.
You took them.
Yeah, you took them, whatever. Probably some bullshit lie like that, right. And then the whole store goes into lockdown. They check the
They hit
footage.
the button.
They hit the button, the silent
Yeah.
alarm button. All the gates go down. Everyone's freaking out. This guy has earrings in his throat probably at that point.
Do you think... Okay, hang on. Genuine question. Do you think he just had them in his mouth to try and walk out with them and then realized the cops were coming and swallowed them?
Yes.
I think
Absolutely.
Yes.
logically he probably just like had him under his tongue
Yes.
to try and make it out of there.
Right,
And he's
right.
like, well, I'm already in for a penny. Might as well go in for a pound.
Right, and just swallowed them. And
Just
he was
have
like,
a light lunch.
right, he was it's like they probably won't look in my stomach, right? And then they do
How
x-rays.
fucking stupid can you be?
Yeah.
That's the first place they look.
They always look inside of your
Anything
stomach
jewelry
first.
related, they take you right to the fucking C scan.
That's so funny.
They rip them right out of you. They throw you in the CAT scans. They rip right out of you. Get those fuckers back.
Yeah, it was probably like a situation of they look at the footage then after
Yeah.
the fact and they're like, okay, he swallowed them.
This guy's eating our jewelry.
We need this menace
That was his only motive. He didn't
gobbling
want
up our
He
jewelry.
didn't actually want to steal it. He just wanted to eat the jewelry. He wanted to see how much he could
hungry
get away with.
hippo over here. It's gobbling up all of
Fucking
our
Jason
product.
over here. All right, let me
Goddamn
break this down real
Jason.
quick though, because I think equally as on the rep's fault here.
Absolutely.
Because normal people don't walk into any retail, regardless of what. I could walk into a car dealer. You don't walk into any retail store and go, "Hey, I'm a representative for the Magic. Let me see your finest jewelry." That's not how you start. That's not how you start a conversation. They said that he was they said he's a representative for the Magic, so they brought him back.
Genuinely, I think it goes something to the effect of like, I walk up to the counter. Hi, I am a representative for Cody Rhodes. He works for WWE. You might know him. He's a big, famous guy. Pull up a picture, something like
Yeah.
that. This is him.
Clearly Photoshop picture of you standing next to him.
But you
Green
know what-
screen still in the back.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Say hypothetical land, I'm his representative.
Yeah.
Like, because that is a real thing
Sure.
that they do. Because they're too famous to go out in public and do that shit. And so they send someone in. And then those people probably do. Like, I mean, this Tiffany's literally had a VIP room that only famous people could go into. Or a certain
level of
monetary level of money could allow. And so if you are an athlete's representative or a celebrity's representative, like, I feel like that might be like putting on a high-vis jacket. Like I said, putting on a high-vis jacket and like walking through a festival. Like it could, I don't know what doors, and it is bullshit. I agree with you. It is bullshit that that's the case. But I think in today's day and age, it does get you into more doors to like how this guy did, lie and say, hey, I work for fucking whatever, Orlando Bloom. He needs earrings for the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Needs them.
He needs
$700,000 earrings.
He needs
for
a
this
set
movie
of
prop.
Tiffany diamond earrings for the next Pirates of the Caribbean. Don't ask
Are
why.
these the ones that taste like banana? Unrelated question.
These smell really good. What are they? Do you have any dipping sauce? I mean,
You guys have some ranch back here or what?
but yeah, I think that it gets you into more places. And so, like, while it's a really dumbass grift, I think it's a grift, you know?
I don't know, man. I feel like
It didn't get him far. Like, he didn't think about it enough to get
I
away
wouldn't
with
believe
the
him.
grift.
I just wouldn't believe him.
Yeah.
Like, unless
And
you got
there
like a
is
business
that.
card. If he showed up with a business card, maybe I'd believe him.
Right, and
If
I'm-
that was the fucking grift.
And I'm sure that there is, like, fake credentials
Yeah.
that you could create. Or there are, like, real credentials that real representatives
Right.
have, you know, of some kind. I don't know what that would look like, but you can only assume. I just think this guy, it was like a half-baked plan. It wasn't completely dumb. I think it was a little dumb, not completely.
Well, someone's going to have earrings in 8 to 10 hours. 216-859-8699. Let me know what you're swallowing.
Rebel Radio Show is live at 5.
Stop saying Daryl the Wild Man Show as if it was like a show that was on it. Well, that's not a thing.
Every Monday on WSRR Radio.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut, and uncensored on WSRR Radio, brought to you by Hellbender Vinyl out of Pittsburgh, PA. They're one of America's most trusted custom vinyl record pressing plants. They also host a bunch of stuff in the Pittsburgh area for local up-and-coming artists that they work with to make their next album release more than a bunch of ones and zeros floating around online. They make every album special, exactly to their customers' liking. They're one of America's most trusted custom vinyl record pressing plants for a reason, and every customer with Hellbender gets 5 free test presses at no additional charge. They're hellbent on service, hellbent on quality, hellbenderservice. What did I just say?
Hellbender Service.
Hellbendervinyl.com.
Yeah.
That are hellbent on quality and hellbent on service. Hellbendervinyl.com.
We love them.
Yeah. Shout out to Hellbender. Jules, can you play something for me real quick?
Absolutely.
All right. You don't have it prepared. Never
I
mind.
played
Just
it
forget
right
it.
before we came
Wait.
in.
Oh, well, I was going to hear it again. I want to hear it again.
Wait, can you play? Can you play it for me?
Absolutely, Shane. Here you go.
Okay. Thanks. Hey! The hell was that? What are you doing?
Buddy, there's been a spill in Lego City.
Oh. Oh.
You know, throughout history, this is the historical part of the Rebel Radio Show today. Break out your textbooks. Because we talk about major instances in American history, right?
We do.
We talk about, like, the Pentagon being hit,
The spaghetti in the New Jersey woods.
JFK's head doing that thing. You know the one.
AI.
AIDS outbreak. The pyramids.
You know.
Shane's struggling to think of any historical event that's ever happened.
The Palisades.
Mesopotamia. Arguably bigger than all of those.
Library of Alexandria.
Sure, yeah. A bigger tragedy than the Library of Alexandria, I would say.
Okay.
And no one talks about it, but the Lego spill of 97. Now you'd think I'm making that up. But I ain't.
Do tell.
So in 1997, there was a freighter coming from, I believe, Japan. Am I wrong? Is that where you're about to correct me?
No. I was just making sure. It says Tokyo Express, so I would
Yes,
assume
okay.
assume Japan.
Was that a Japanese
From
joke?
Rotterdam.
It was going to New York.
It was coming from Japan.
Oh wait,
Traveling from Rotterdam.
From New York to Japan.
Where's
I don't know.
Rotterdam?
I don't know what Rotterdam
No,
is.
Rotterdam to
New York City. Yeah, it's coming from Japan. It's the Tokyo Express, baby. You know that tag team from the 80s, the Tokyo Express?
Netherlands.
The Netherlands. So a Japanese freighter was traveling from the Netherlands to New York. Obviously. Forgive me for thinking it was coming from Japan. Fuck me.
We don't even know.
Yeah, Yokozuna was fucking Samoan, so don't even get on me. A Japanese freighter going from the Netherlands to New York was carrying a shit ton of Lego sets.
Mhm.
I mean, like, crates and crates. The big pallet fucking ships that you see out in the ocean. The ones that get stuck in the canal.
Nearly 5 million Lego pieces, it says.
And it fucking had an accident.
It pooped its pants, it pooped its diaper.
And it fucking spilled
It
Legos.
peed in its pull-up overnight.
all in the ocean.
Damn.
So many of these, I think most of them, if not all of them, ended up in the fucking ocean. These
The
crates,
Legos.
yeah, carrying Lego pieces, Lego sets.
That's
Funny
so
enough,
sick.
a lot of them were aquatic themed, and still
Under
to
the
this
sea.
day, in the beaches of New York, not New Jersey, but on the beaches of New York, still to this day, Lego pieces wash up every year. So much that I think the running total right now is a little over 5 million Lego pieces they found.
Scientists, I'm just reading more facts about this, about like the Legos, and scientists estimate that it could take up to 1,300 years for the Legos to break down entirely.
That's crazy.
The ones that are like in the water.
So nearly 5,000 or 5 million were lost in the water.
Okay.
But hundreds are found each year. That's fucking insane. The best part is you can find pictures of people walking along the beach in New York finding these Lego pieces washing up. And like a lot of them are like octopuses or mermaids and stuff.
That's so funny.
There's a picture of some. There's seaweed. There's There's an octopus in there. There's oars. There's netting. Yeah. There's a life
boats,
raft. Yeah.
Bunch of Lego boats. That's fun.
That's
But no one
awesome.
talks about this. And that's what BP got a lot of shit. BP got a lot of shit for spilling oil in the ocean.
They
It's
did.
a little
Those
different.
we saw those ducks every day.
That's
Dawn
true.
made sure we knew about the ducks.
That's
But
true.
not a single damn person told me about the Lego spill in 97. How come we never had a day in history? They pulled us out of U.S. history in 8th grade and took us to the auditorium to show us ancient aliens. And the teacher said, well, this could be a thing. That's up to you. They gave us that open door as 13-year-olds that aliens might have built the pyramids. But they couldn't teach us about the Lego spill in 97.
I see.
The American education system is flawed.
See, I feel like I did get a dose of learning. You brought this in last week.
Yeah, and you guys vetoed it. You said we
We
can't
didn't-
talk
no,
about Legos.
we had a bunch
They
of
said,
good
go
shit.
home, fucker.
Shut up. We had a bunch of good shit last week. All right, and so we didn't end up talking about it, but we brought it again. But I brought up when you brought it in last
The
week.
people need to know, Shane. This is
The
a national tragedy.
the Garfield phones.
Yeah.
The same thing
Ring,
happened
ring,
to the Garfield
ring,
phones.
ring, ring, ring.
There's
Garfield
a-
phone.
A French coastal community has finally cracked the mystery behind the Garfield telephones that has plagued its picturesque beaches for decades. Since the 1980s, the Erosi coast in Brittany has received a supply of bright orange landline novelty phones shaped in the famous cartoon cat. So there was a French beach that was getting a bunch of Garfield phones that washed up from a similar situation.
Just yearly they would show up, right? Because the tide reached a certain level in the summer and they would start rolling in these Garfield phones that had been unearthed from the bottom of the ocean. Isn't that what it was?
Potentially, I think.
So for years they didn't know where it was coming from.
Yeah, it was a lost shipping container.
Imagine being a Frenchman on the beach and yearly
Oh.
these phones...
Baguette!
Sand. As these phones start rolling in yearly, and you're out there having a ritual like the Lord has blessed us again with the annual harvest of Garfield landlines.
Thank you for the orange cat.
Garfield had to do big in France. Tale of Two Kitties. That was in France, dude.
Was
It
it?
was in Paris. It took place.
Did Bill
with
Murray come
Bill
back for
Murray.
that? He
How
came back for
many-
the sequel.
Maybe.
How many crates get lost in the ocean?
We only hear about the boring ones.
Yeah, probably a lot.
Because there's the one that I always come back to is the
Think about-
28,000 rubber ducks that
I forgot. Was that Canada?
it was in North Pacific Ocean. The toys were on their way from China to the United States.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Think about all the missiles.
I know. We're in a real crisis. We really need to stock up the U.S. Army supply
no,
again.
No, I'm just. think
You're right,
about
Shane.
All the tankers, and then they just get hit with a missile,
That's what I'm saying.
and then Garfield all over the French beach.
I-
Garfield phones all over the French beach, dude.
I care significantly less about the BP oil spill than I do about the Lego tragedy in 97 or the Garfield French Sonasco.
What?
Don't worry about it. Let's move on.
It was in the 1980s.
What, the phones?
Yeah,
So they didn't have, like, any technology ever.
they
The
actually
technology wasn't invented until 97.
they actually cite it here as being the start of the Cold War. They say when the they say when the Garfield telephone cats.
Cuba was pissed that they didn't get any Garfield phones from the beach gods.
Yeah, we don't even know where they. That's the thing. We don't even know where they came from.
So no one reported this is lost? No one's like, damn, we should have 30,000 more Garfield phones on this ship. Where are they?
No,
well, the ship
so
probably fell.
I looked it up. On
Ship will never
average,
fall.
The ship fell down.
on average, around 1,382 shipping containers go lost at sea each year.
How?
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 How many of them have Garfield telephones on them?
But last year, 2023, 2 years ago, there was a significant decrease, and they only lost 221.
That's good.
How are they? What do you mean losing?
Boats are getting better at
Tying them down?
hanging out. not
no
sinking.
dads on the boats to strap the ratchet and go, I
Yeah.
ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it's going.
Now listen, I
somewhere
lost
now.
a ladder once on the highway, but I feel like that's significantly less important than losing a shipping container, let alone several thousand each year.
No, listen, if I am the captain of a shipping container, and it starts tipping,
Just the container, not of the ship itself.
if I'm the captain of a ship that has containers on it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
and it starts to weeble and wobble, and I
It might fall down.
lose containers, I'm not gonna be like, oh, we have to turn
We
around.
lost another one.
Well, I'm not gonna be like, we have to turn around and get them. Oh man, I lost all my Garfield phones. We have to turn around and get them.
All right,
No.
hear me out.
I'm gonna keep going.
Hear me out, right?
Or the whole ship sank.
But they're not. They're making the trips.
I don't think they are.
They just said so many ships lose containers every year. They didn't say the ships sink.
No,
I
that
don't-
was just how many containers go lost each year.
I don't think that you can lose a container without also losing the
I think
ship.
you can.
Those containers are huge.
I know. That's the issue. Why are they just falling off ships?
I don't think
They
that.
slick?
I don't think that an entire
Did someone slick down the containers?
I don't
Is
think
it a
that-
practical joke?
a whole
Is that funny to
container
you?
could fall off of the side of
That's
a
what I'm
boat
saying. I don't know how that happens.
without the whole boat.
Nah, boat
tipple-topping.
made that. Boat made it. Boat
You
made it to
don't
shore, dude.
know
I
that.
do know it. Because there would be a lot more containers than that every year if the boat went down with them.
No.
Yeah.
No, if it's only like one boat
No.
every couple of months.
Okay, hang on. Jules, how many containers are lost each year?
It was 1,382.
Okay, look up how many freight ships sink every year
Wait, and then look up how many containers fit
on
a
the average freight ship, yeah.
Oh, we're doing the fucking math.
Because I'm convinced they're losing them. But here's my point. If you...
So then how does a freight ship lose a container?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, man. I don't think it's acceptable. I think we really need to crack down on these freight companies.
All right.
There's no
Freaking
reason...
OSHA.
Oceana.
Over
Oh, shit, no.
60,000 merchant ships trading internationally.
Yeah.
That sink? I need
Oh,
to know how
that
many sink each year.
Okay.
No, none of them are sinking.
That's what I'm saying. They're just losing containers.
No, about 1,000 of them are sinking. That's what I said.
You want to be on my side, Shane.
No, I
38.
completely
38 ships a year sink.
30. Yeah, and so that's like they each lose all of their containers.
How many containers fit on the average freighter?
I'm going.
It's like 60.
It's not 60. It's over 100.
And so then 60 times like 30 equals like 1,000 something.
I know that neither one of us are actually doing this math.
Someone is, and they're laughing at us.
Someone
because
who,
it's
yeah,
wrong.
No, so yeah, someone is actually listening and putting this together because I've already forgotten the exact amount of containers that were lost.
1,380 something?
yeah.
2,000.
No.
No, it was 1,000.
Okay.
Don't up the number. It was like 1,000 something.
It was
And so
1,200
if there
something.
are would you
60 ships that sink a
60
year.
ships that sink, and there's about 1,000 or 60 containers on each ship.
We don't know that. How many containers on each ship?
Nobody knows.
looking.
The
Don't speculate.
Google nor ChatGPT AI know the answer
Don't
to that
speculate containers on a ship, okay? We're talking mass quantities of Legos here. We can't have that kind of inconsistency and sloppiness when we're accounting for this much product, Shane.
There's
Is-
too much math here.
is
I don't
this-
know the number of them that fit on
Is
one.
this a money laundering scheme?
Could be.
It could be.
Is this a money laundering scheme?
Sink those bitches.
Yeah. Like,
Hey.
oh, we lost a bunch of product, and
Don't-
now we need the government needs to pay for it to get shipped back.
Literally, they need to just like tell their shippers. to be
Small
like,
ships may carry about 600 containers, while big freighters primarily carry 15,000 20-foot units.
Okay. I think it's an inside job.
So they're definitely losing containers.
I
Yeah,
don't even
I mean,
remember.
they could get rocked by a big wave.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
they
I
fall off.
I don't think that it's impossible. I think that that's probably what the case is. But
I just don't think it's acceptable. That was my... We need to crack down on these. Like, if I hire you to move my furniture, and you show up and you're like, yeah, we lost 3 boxes, it'll happen.
Mhm.
Sorry. That's not acceptable. If I'm paying for 30,000 Garfield phones to get to Manhattan, and you will lose them in the coast of France, that's not acceptable to me.
That's where
You
were-
better go get those phones.
No. No.
Send scuba divers down there. To
They're
get
broken.
My phone.
I don't care. They're
This
getting
is-
shipped.
this
I'm
is
not
a-
on quality control.
This is a money laundering scheme.
It probably is.
It's the mafia.
I just want to know who makes Lego. Hasbro?
I think Lego is its own
Lego.
brand.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Lego needs to have some more flack on them. There's no way they can get away with this. Legos are still washing
They
up.
got away with it like 40 years ago at this
People
point.
are-
Actually.
40!
Yeah.
People are okay
Is
with
it-
it because they're aquatic themed and they're washing up on the beach.
Oh, I forgot the Lego one was in 97.
Yeah.
So like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah. That's ridiculous, Shane. That's ridiculous. And it's time they're held accountable. They need to pay for their sins.
You're gonna hold the Lego company accountable
gonna-
for losing.
I'm going to Legoland.
We don't even know how many.
I'm
containers.
going to Legoland. They lost 5 million Legos. I'm going to
many containers?
Legoland. And I'm going to talk to every person there and let them know this is a sham. You're giving these kids false hope. You're selling Legos while there's 5 million Legos in the ocean washing up every year.
You sound
The
like you
waves
wanna.
are bringing in free goes.
You sound like you want to get physically escorted out of Legoland.
I'm already not welcome in Legoland, but
believe
we
that.
don't have to talk about
Believe
that.
that.
Was before I knew about the Lego
So
School
wait,
in 97.
Legos,
But they didn't tell me.
Legos, Garfield phones, and what was Jules?
ducks. The
rubber ducks? Where were those ones?
It said
Not
The-
Canada.
some ocean.
Pacific Ocean.
Ocean?
There's in the Pacific Ocean.
Friendly floaty spill.
Okay, but like that's fine. They're meant for the
Disagree.
water. They're meant for the water.
Disagree.
No,
That's where they're supposed to fucking go.
They're
Strong.
also-
Phones not meant for the water. Don't know if you know that.
Strongly.
In fact, quite bad for
Dude.
them.
They had our frogs.
Green frogs.
You guys remember those green frogs they had that were like the yellow rubber ducks, but they were green frogs?
No.
Those spilled out too, damn it.
That's why I don't
wait,
remember them.
Yes, I do remember that
No,
actually.
I've never seen those in my life.
Dude, so first
Oh
hold
shit! I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
we used them in school.
Yes, we did.
Yes,
we
that's-
used them. All right.
That's what they took. They're taking our fucking
Yeah.
frogs.
Yeah.
Turn
That's why they stopped using them.
Turned them gay.
Turned all of them gay by putting them in the ocean.
So in the
It's
80s,
pretty fucking gay. They lost all those ducks, didn't it?
it started with the Garfield phones in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then in, what
They
is this?
Up to the antes.
What is-
This is in 2007.
Motherfucker.
Oh, I'm sorry, 92. 1992
yeah,
was the ducks.
I thought it was 92. I thought
Yeah, you're right. Pacific Ocean in 92.
Yeah.
It took them till 2007 to get all the ducks out.
How do they know that they got them all?
That's crazy.
So the
Did they
90,
count
There's
them?
still one out there somewhere.
and then not 10 years later, there's the Legos.
We need to crack down on these shipping companies.
Maybe there's just a
Honestly, yeah.
big giant baby in the ocean, and we're
We're
trying to
giving it toys
please
and
it.
oil
Yeah, we're trying to please it.
and gassing it up.
Yeah.
It's a mechanical baby.
Maybe it just needs the oil to live, and so we're like,
Probably.
oh, we
Well, it
spilled,
is mutated, so
we
it makes
spilled
sense.
some oil. Oopsie,
Yeah.
we spilled some Legos and also some other fun
I
toys
just-
down there.
I just think.
Hopefully, the giant kaiju baby doesn't wake up and eat us all.
Don't bring Caillou into this. I just think.
Kaiju baby.
I just think that Lego needs to be held accountable. We put so much shit on BP for endangering the ducks. Why isn't Lego upheld to the same standards as British Petroleum? Because it should be.
It was an
You're
accident.
putting plastic in the ocean. I can't use a fucking straw at Chipotle now because it's bad for the turtles, but Lego can dump containers full of Legos into the ocean.
No.
I'm not the issue.
Wow. So, I looked it up to see.
I disagree.
If,
You're right. I cause all pollution.
I looked it
You
up
are
to see.
spilling these containers. You're tipping them.
I
Just
asked
the ducks. They
good-
belong there.
I asked good old Google.
Yeah.
If freight
Uncle-
ships have to
Uncle
pay like
Google.
a fine for like littering or something
Mhm.
for losing a shipping container, and it says containers dropped from cargo ships have never are never recovered and rarely reported. There are no repercussions for the losses, no accountability, and there are no other like repercussions.
If
for
I had-
It's like
hazardous
space junk.
materials.
Yeah.
It's like space junk, but in the ocean.
If I had
It's sick.
a lot of money,
Mm.
more than I do,
Mm-hmm.
if I had a lot of money, I would buy a bunch of shipping containers, put them on a boat, and make sure that boat never gets to land. I'm losing every container in the ocean. What are they going to do?
Can't ship anything
Yeah,
anymore.
well, I only need it for one job.
You have to
My whole idea was just to drop things in the ocean.
you have
Don't
to
care what it is.
transport by land now for all your commerce.
That's fine by me. I'm not allowed in Legoland anyways, so what am I going to do? What am I going to do with the rest of my life?
It is very ironic that it was
They
all
also-
aquatic themed Lego
Yeah.
sets.
I think it's an inside job. I think Big Lego did it on purpose.
Again, I think it was a money laundering thing.
Yeah. Duplo.
That's
Big Lego.
super crazy that shipping containers lost at sea. There's just no.
Nobody pays for it. It's just.
I mean, that's literally like space junk.
Mm-hmm.
They just launch shit out into space and they're like, well, that's the debris. It just hangs out there now.
It's interesting that like you can get a fine for littering, right? Like you throw your
Yeah.
can out the window of your car in a cop sees it and they give you a
Right.
$500 fine, right?
Right.
For one can on the highway amongst 100 others. But shipping containers can fall into the ocean and no one's held accountable. And they actively chose to bury hundreds of copies of E.T. the video game in the desert.
Yeah, that is another. We've never talked about that on the show, but that is a crazy thing
Yeah.
that they did, and
Yeah.
that like also nearly crippled the video game market.
Yeah.
Very wild. They
Yeah.
thought that would be a good idea. Well, let's just put all of these electronics
Into the desert.
into the desert under a landfill.
Yeah.
Nothing bad will happen.
Didn't destroy them, didn't send them to anywhere to be broken down. Literally just collected all their games and went, well,
Yeah.
there's nothing else we can do but
Like,
bury them, I guess.
There were videos of people going out and
Taking
getting
them. I
getting
think
the
you still can.
You probably can.
Because
That's
it was
crazy.
thousands and thousands of fucking copies, if not millions.
We should talk about that on the show sometime. That's a really
The
interesting.
ET.
And I don't think that people know about that.
So quick gist, because
Yeah.
we only have a few minutes. E.T. the game was terrible and broken. Like you actually couldn't beat it. It was the Atari. Was it
Yeah,
for?
it was Atari. Like think original Nintendo Atari era video
Yeah.
games.
So they put out E.T. the video game right after the movie came out. I think 2 years after the movie came out, and it was so bad and so poorly received and sold so bad. Like you actually could not beat the game. It was actually unbeatable.
Right.
So instead of like trying to sell it off or discounting it or giving them away, the company just cut their loss, collected everything they had in stock, went out to the desert, I think in New Mexico,
Maybe I don't remember
and
where.
just fucking buried them.
Yeah, like just created a landfill.
Did they
full
own
of,
the land?
I'm assuming they bought the land because it
Right.
was Atari, which is they
Yeah.
were a big company at the time. Like they had money to do that sort of thing at the time. So I'm assuming they bought the land that they built the landfill on. But yeah, it was literally just like a mound that of sand and grass and like it looked like earth, but under it were just millions of copies of a video game of E.T. the video game.
And since then, people have traveled out there and dug up
Right.
copies of E.T. the video game. Because now they're hard to get.
Yeah, right.
216-859-8699. Let me know what you want to dump in the ocean. Dad didn't leave for cigarettes. He's out in the car, listening to the Rebel Radio Show. Come on down! You're listening to the Rebel Radio Show. Please welcome Shane E.
Hey, everyone!
Jules on the board.
Hey.
And I'm Style.
Boo!
216-859-8699, the number to text in. You're listening to the Rebel Radio Show live on WSRR Radio, saving the underground music scene. We're nationally local. That means we play your local bands nationwide, and we're brought to you by Hellbender Vinyl out of Pittsburgh, PA. They're one of America's most trusted custom vinyl record pressing plants, and they work with local and independent artists to make your next album release something special. Get it pressed on an assortment of colorful vinyl to your liking, because they're hell-bent on quality, hell-bent on service. Hellbendervinyl.com. Proud supporters of local independent radio and WSRR radio. I think primarily, we talk about some local news sometimes. There are serious shows. We do conspiracy theories in October. I think primarily we could categorize this as a comedy show.
Sure.
Yeah.
However, a lot of our listeners do have Botox.
Oh, sorry, guys.
So I never really know what lands and what doesn't.
yeah,
And I think that's a common issue we're seeing across the comedy genre is as the increase in consumer Botox rises, the stage presence of up-and-coming comedians gets shattered.
Right. Yeah.
It's something that Jerry Seinfeld never had to deal with, frankly.
Well, not as much Botox
Yeah,
back then.
it's an unlevel playing field,
Right.
and we need to pass some legislation to limit the amount of people with Botox who consume comedy media.
We just need to outlaw Botox in relation to comedy.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you're getting Botox, you should be stick to, like, drama.
You can't laugh anymore.
Yeah, you're done.
You're not allowed.
All right, what the hell is the story?
So there's a London comedy club that is banning people that have had Botox injections because their comedians have complained that they can't gauge how the audience feels based on face expressions.
So no one's broken the bad news to this comedian, right? That they're not a comedian. They're whatever they do in their day
Imagine
job.
that conversation with the owner of the club.
Yeah.
This guy,
Yeah.
I'm assuming multiple times has been to this club to
Right.
perform,
Right.
has to go to the owner and say, listen, man, I don't want to tell you how to run your business or anything, but I think you're letting in too many people with Botox. Because, like, I'm just not getting anything from these guys. Like, this is funny stuff. This is good stuff. And they're just...
I promise everything's hilarious that I'm saying, and they're just...
I don't know. I think they like it, but how could I tell, you know?
Too much
Everybody has
Botox.
Botox. Absolutely everybody that comes in here has Botox.
Botox doesn't make you not able to laugh.
Like, what? Yeah, imagine being the club owner and, like, having to receive this conversation, being the one to tell them, like...
Apparently he was open to it.
Yeah, okay, I get right, because they are doing this, huh?
Or the
London Comedy
comedian
Club.
owns the shop.
Yeah.
Or the club.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's his club.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, all right.
Yeah,
Guys,
okay, wait.
This is not funny.
The owner of a London comedy club announces that he's banning audience members with Botox after performers. I wonder
Multiple.
I wonder
Plural.
who the quote-unquote performers are. Mark Rothman, owner of Top Secret Comedy Club, said the two business venues have decided not to allow patrons with Botox injections to be an audience at their comedy show. I've had numerous complaints from performers who find it increasingly challenging to gauge audiences' engagement and bounce off their reactions.
How many people with Botox do you think are going to this comedy club? Why is this like a hub? Is this Botox
Yeah,
City,
right.
baby?
He goes,
They got a buy one, get one deal on implants or what?
comedy thrives on connection, and facial expression plays a huge part. We want people to laugh, cry, frown, sneer, but frozen faces from Botox impact the entire atmosphere. Dude, he's kind of rhyming there.
All right, so a couple things.
Maybe you should start rapping. Maybe you should become a poet.
There's only two
Clearly
times.
he's not that funny if nobody's laughing at his jokes.
I know this article's kind of funny.
Yeah.
If he wrote it, you
Yeah,
know.
he probably
I
did.
think it's a satire.
Yeah. Nobody's coming to my comedy club.
You're not allowed in if you have Botox. A bunch of people with Botox start showing up. We're gonna flood the market.
We should.
That's the audience we need.
Start a comedy night and have only people with Botox in the crowd.
Imagine
if you can make these people laugh.
So they do those videos of hiring actors to go to comedy clubs and not laugh, right? What if you hired a bunch of people who just freshly got Botox, so they all just look mildly concerned the whole time?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is that's not how Botox works. At least from my knowledge, I'm no.
Yeah, I think that you
plastic
can
surgeon.
Like, I mean, I think if something is funny and you laugh, your face might look like it hasn't changed, but it will.
Weird.
But it will move. Your face will still create a motion.
Because there's a lot of different Botox.
I was just about to say that. Like, you could just get your lips done. You could just get, like, your wrinkles out of your forehead.
And it's not 97 anymore. The Legos are still in the ocean, but it's not 97 anymore. Like, Botox has evolved. It's not as archaic as it was.
Right. Botox is good now.
Yeah. So, like, this dude, whoever complained, and apparently the owner, are definitely stuck in 97 on the Lego freighter, thinking that Botox is still in 97. It's permanent when you get Botox, that it freezes your face, which is like a temporary side effect.
Yeah, right.
Or at least used to be. I don't know if that's still a thing because Botox has evolved.
I think it's just
saying
they've
overdone it.
Yeah, they've overdone it, and your face just looks stiff.
But what are the odds of how the whole audience overdoing their Botox?
Are there that many people? Are there that many people with Botox in general that are going to a comedy club?
I think this.
I only know like 2 people in my life that have gotten Botox, and not to the extent where you notice.
That have gone to a comedy club.
I've gone to a comedy club.
You're one of 2.
Shane's gone to a comedy club.
I have.
That 2 of 2.
There you go. We're the 2.
Oh, shit.
This is sidestepping from what we're talking about a little bit, but I do think
herpes, right?
I do think it's interesting the amount of young people that I see that are getting Botox.
Yeah.
And that's becoming a lot more... like,
is it?
Millie Bobby Brown just got Botox. Like, has multiple Botox injections.
Bow ties.
She's
been getting bow tie.
And she's younger than us.
Is she?
Yeah. Millie Bobby Brown Bon Jovi.
Right. Oh, is
that
her
right?
last name?
Yes.
Is that her full name?
Giove is the real last name.
Interesting.
Giove. That's the real name.
Oh,
his name is John Giove.
Okay.
Giove. But yeah, like...
But yeah, she married Bon Jovi's son.
But she doesn't need Botox.
Right.
She's like 23, 22.
Yeah.
She doesn't need Botox.
I think people have a weird perception of Botox, too. Like we said, it's definitely changed over the years and gotten better, like hair plugs, right?
Yeah.
Like any cosmetic surgery has over the years. So, like, I don't think, unless you're overdoing it, or unless it is to the point where it has aged poorly, because that's the thing with Botox. It doesn't last forever. You have to keep going back and getting more injections, which then end up making you look weird.
Right.
But, like, you're not going to end up looking like Carrot Top for getting a Botox injection. That's just not how it works.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't think that you... I don't think that's
I agree.
necessary.
I don't think it's necessary either. I think it's a weird concept in general. And I think it seems like a very dated concept to get Botox.
Yeah.
Especially in today's, like, fitness culture, where everyone wants to go to the gym and everyone eats healthy and wants to fucking do all this other shit with lotions and creams and hydration and all this shit.
Right.
It's a very weird time we live in where, like, health products or skin supplements and things like that are pushed to the moon.
Yeah.
Yet people are still getting, like, Botox and stuff.
Yeah, right.
Like, would that kind of counterproductive?
Right. You would think that if
Ozempic,
the skin stuff is so good, then Ozempic.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like the same thing as Botox, right? If you're doing all this other stuff, why do you need Ozempics to? If you're going to the gym and part of workout culture and doing all this other shit,
right. I see that.
Why do you need Ozempic to lose the weight?
Right. Yeah, I just think it's very, like, and I wish I could remember who the other one was, but I thought that there was, like, another young celebrity who had gotten Botox and, like, it was kind of noticeable. Because with Millie Bobby Brown's, it's kind of noticeable.
Yeah, she definitely...
Is it?
Like, you can look at a picture of her now and look at a picture of, like, season 2 of Stranger Things.
Look at Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just one of those things where I think it's very unnecessary, and, like, she was probably really young when she got it, too.
Right.
But she doesn't need it.
Yeah.
She didn't need it the first time. She didn't need it the second time. She didn't need it the third time, the fourth time. Like...
That's the thing is, like, something like a Botox, that's why it seems so dated to me, is what is it known for? It's known for making you look weird.
Right.
And we've goofed on it for over 30 years at this point. Since the
Right.
80s, we've goofed on people who got Botox. Even when it was booming in like the late 80s, we were goofing on it.
Right.
And to this day, people are still getting it.
Well, because I think it's like it's a double-edged sword of like you get to a certain age and you start to see your age on your face,
Sure.
and you're like, if you're a celebrity or something like that, or if you even are rich, you're like, oh, I can do something about this. So should I or shouldn't I? And then I think it's yeah, we make fun of Ozempic, we clown on Ozempic, but there are definitely people who still run
Right.
to buy Ozempic because they're losing weight.
Yeah.
People are still
Yeah.
doing this Botox thing because while it's jaded and we're like, yeah, you're going to look like a monster by the time you're 60 or something like that. You know, you're going to look like a goop monster by the time you're 60. Like, people still
John
do it.
Travolta.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I
people
keep
still
thinking
do
of
it
like
because they're
Cher,
young.
John Travolta.
It makes them look young, though, or at least, like, it helps they think it makes
Yeah.
them look young,
Okay.
you know?
It makes you look young until you actually get old with
It's a mental
Botox.
state.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a mental state, you know? Because I think that's like, you can see celebrities who like age gracefully, naturally, and you're like, okay, she's old, but she looks healthy.
Right.
She looks like an old, vintage golden era celebrity who is
Sure.
Yeah.
now aged.
Sure.
She, who is only 20 years younger than her, looks like a monster because
Yeah.
Botox came out in between those 20-year time period. And she, the actress B, wanted to stay fit and fresh and young. And
Okay,
and so it's like,
look at what's her name, Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox versus Jennifer Aniston, right? Courtney Cox like recently got a shit ton of fucking Botox and filler and stuff, and now looks like a monster person.
Mm-hmm.
Where, to my knowledge, if she has, it's obviously been a good job at it. Jennifer Aniston hasn't,
I'm not.
I don't
too
think
sure.
that.
I don't think so.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like sometimes,
or hasn't overdone it at least.
like you both said, sometimes like, and especially with how advanced we've gotten with Botox and
Right.
stuff, sometimes they can get it and you genuinely don't notice.
yeah, it could
and so
be
it's
the
like-
smallest thing.
Right. It can be just a little thing that you get touched up. And
Sure.
so I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm so both-sided on it. I can't tell. I can't
I
tell
feel
how
like
I feel about getting
it's-
Botox.
It's possible that it could be like a piercing tattoo effect. Like you get it one time, and then you have to keep going
Right,
back.
right.
Imagine getting addicted to Botox. That's
People
crazy.
do.
Okay, so hang on real quick, because Botox should be a dated concept by how we're talking about it, but it's not.
Right.
We talked about Ozempic, but like people don't get liposuction very like as a cosmetic thing very much
No.
anymore.
They do.
I think overweight people who have money to do so do.
Really?
Yes.
Dr. Miami does butt lifts all the time, and
Yeah.
with his
I don't know
butt
what
lifts,
any
they
of that
do.
sentence
That's
was.
definitely liposuction is definitely still.
Is
very-
it?
Oh well, I mean, probably not as much with Ozempic and stuff like that now, but it was still a thing. I think it's just that's not.
It's
in
a part
our-
of the package of what you're doing.
Yeah, it's like not in our world.
We should
We're
get a
not-
plastic surgeon on to talk to.
Absolutely.
That'd be interesting.
I watch plastic surgeries online.
Weird. Very weird. Why?
Because I like watching surgeries.
Very weird. Why?
It's just I think it's one of those things where it's like, I love myself for who I am, and I'm never gonna change
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And then you get like 65, and you're like, I look like an old man. If you're rich,
But
if
you are an old man.
If you're rich and you have money, you might say that there are then two trains of thought. If you're rich and have money, you say, well, I could do something about this, or I could just try to age my normal self. Us lowly serfs down here don't get the choice of like, well, I could get liposuction, or well, I could get facial surgery and make myself look younger. Like we don't have that luxury, and so it's not. It seems more taboo for us. But if you had that money and you could do something about it, maybe it's not as taboo.
I think it's a big I'll worry about it later thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, in the real world, in normal reality, day-to-day life, if I know 6 people who have a Mazda and all of them broke down, I'm not going to go out and buy a Mazda.
Right.
If I know all of these people who have Botox that look like weird monster people now, probably not going to go out and get Botox.
I think it's easy to say until you get to that point.
Till I get some Botox.
Yeah, right.
All right, if you want us to get Botox live on the show, 216-859-8699. So, your friends invited you to their annual Super Bowl party, but you can't remember if that's the sport that's played with the sticks or with the bat. No fear, just break out your trusty sporting event shirt from GenericClothes.com. But what's that you say? It's election season and your family has color-coded their entire personality again? Go ahead and play your part as the one true middleman by wearing your ambiguous political statement t-shirt. Yes, for all of your unwanted social interactions, geopolitical statements, or ideologies about the fashion industry in general, GenericClothes.com has you covered. Once again, that's GenericClothes.com.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all of these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Awesome. Where were you, Jill?
Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Melissa.
And hey, it's Matt.
Hi guys, my name is Ari. Coming at you from Synergy Music Studio. Come through to a Synergy Naked session.
Synergy Naked is a live performance recording, also captured on video. Look for our releases on YouTube at Synergy Music Studio.
We're located on the south side near Chicago. Passing through.
Hit up our DMs on Instagram at Synergy Music Studio. Rock hard.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show.
You Uba Tuba son of a bitch.
Uba Tuba piece of shit. You're a stinky rope.
Clip that.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show. It is March. What is it, March 10th? It's Mario Day.
It's Mario Day.
Oh, we didn't even talk anything about Mario.
I know. There's not really much going on in the Mario world.
I literally had a whole throwaway gag I was going to do when I was going to talk about Sonic, but like nothing related. We did talk about video games today.
We did.
Talked about E.T. the game. So
they're building a Nintendo Land in New.
Don't they have that?
Not New York. California or Florida, somewhere
Florida?
in the U.S. There's like a Nintendo Land in Japan, but they're building one in the U.S.
Don't they have one in Disney too?
It's not Disney.
Mario?
It's Universal.
Oh,
yeah.
Universal's the one that used to be the Nickelodeon Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, regardless, that has nothing to do with what I was going to talk about in March. I was going to talk about March Madness. Bracketology kicks off the 16th when you can build your bracket. March Madness actually kicks off the tournament on the 18th. But you can get on the fun for just $1 today. That's $1 to WSRR Radio on Venmo. Get your entry into the March Madness tournament that's hosted by GenericClothes.com and Behind Enemy Lines. That's our Cleveland sports show from Pittsburgh. They can hear weekday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern right here on WSRR Radio. We got a whole bracketology pool that's going down, so fill out your bracket. We'll send you the invite link once you send the $1. Make sure you send us an email or phone number we can reach you at. You'll get your invite code. You'll join the bracket, and you can walk away if you win first place with a contest winner t-shirt courtesy of GenericClothes.com because nobody cares about the details. Get to the point with GenericClothes.com. We talked about lip filler and Botox and injections during the last hour. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's talk about hair pieces.
Yeah, buddy. Nothing like a hair transplant. We're all getting one.
We're all doing it.
Dibs on Jules' hair.
What?
We're trading.
What if you walked in, like a liver transplant, you walk in with someone to the hair doctor?
Yeah.
Hair doctor? It is, right?
No, I think you go to like
follicle surgeon.
I think
it has to be a specialist.
No. I think
you can't just walk into your local practice.
I think they go to. Well, I don't think you go to a doctor. I think you go to a barber shop and they do it.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
A hairpiece? You're talking about?
No. I was talking about like injections or like plugs.
No.
Plugs? That has to be a plastic surgeon, right?
Plugs is like a plastic surgeon or something
it's like a follicle specialist.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking. I was talking about like bringing your buddy into a follicle guy and be like, I want his hair on my head.
Well, you can go to Turkey and do that.
Yes, that's the capital of hair plugs or something.
The hair
right?
transplant.
I see a bunch of TikToks.
Elon and the Zuck and Logan Paul all went there.
I was at work the other day at a hospital, and these two nurses and a doctor were walking by, and the one nurse said to the other, like, "Yeah, did you see that blah 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 was wearing a hat? He said that he went to Turkey to go get hair transplant. He said that that's like the mecca of where they do hair transplants." I was like, "That's crazy that people not within my vicinity, but
a lot of people go to Turkey.
A lot of people go to like the
that's
fact
like a
that
normal thing now.
Right, the fact that I heard a conversation about it in passing shows how normal it is, and people do that kind of a lot now.
On one hand, I feel bad for that guy because they're talking shit about him going to Turkey and
they were like, "Did you notice he was wearing a hat? He never wears a hat." And then the other lady was like, "Yeah, I heard he went to
that bald fuck."
Yeah, I heard he went to Turkey to get hair transplants. Apparently, that's where everybody goes. I was like, "That's fucked that they're talking about him that way."
On the other hand, in 3 months, because it takes about 3 months for those to start growing. In 3 months, nobody is gonna fucking.
Right. No one's going to know.
Because it's going to look fine.
It's going to look completely like, your hair grew back. Okay.
Hair plugs have come a long way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is very interesting that, like, we talked about Ozempic last segment, and, like, all this shit really has come a very long way.
I'll say this. I don't think there's a situation excluding, like, an actual accident that could happen where I could see myself getting Botox. Hair plugs, however, I'm not against it. If I needed them, I'd go get them.
I'd
go to Turkey.
You'd go to Turkey?
Yeah,
I think I would go to Turkey, maybe. Yeah.
There's always a bunch of TikToks on my For You page of like people sitting on the planes coming back from Turkey, and it's just like panning the they all have the headband
halo.
And the
that's funny.
That's so yeah. It is very strange that like because I've looked into it a little bit. They have like you can like there are specific Americans coming to Turkey to do this like setups where they have a hotel for you and shit. And
it's like a whole process.
Yeah, it's a whole. Well, you pay. It's like a cruise. Like you
pay
for the whole
package.
You pay for the whole package. Right. You pay for the whole package, and they like. It's something where
I'm going on the hair vacation.
Yeah, literally, they pick you up from the airport, they take you to the hotel, and then like you get the surgery the next day, and then you stay in the hotel, and then they fly you to
definitely do it then.
Yeah, right. It's literally like a full like pampered package. It's probably expensive. I don't know how much it is.
That's probably buku money.
But I mean,
do you think they give each other the nod in the airport, like?
Yeah, all the bald guys in the airport, like
see you in 3 months.
Yeah.
Solidarity nod.
See you in a couple months, pal.
It's like when guys on motorcycles pass each other and give them a little signal.
It is a really crazy thing too. How does that? I don't know. How does that work? How do they?
That's above my pay grade. No, a toupee I could probably tell you more about. It's like I wear a bunch.
Wear them all. They're my favorite.
It's all actually a toupee. But technology came a long way in toupees too. I was gonna say it didn't, but like. People blend them in pretty like well now.
I do see
There's
a lot
like
of those
silicone ones that like stick to the bald person's head that are like good.
I've seen the videos of it, and this is what I was talking about. You go to like a barber shop, or like it seems like a lot of Middle Eastern barber shops.
Oh yeah,
and like their head is already shaved. It looks like they like pre-shaved
prepped it, yeah.
Right, they prepped that spot. And then it's almost like a sticker.
I've seen the exact videos, yeah.
Sticker that like they
They'll
lay
measure
on
it out
top,
and
then they like cut it out or whatever, and then they give it a haircut, and then it looks like normal hair.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy.
They've just added hair.
Right.
Customized character.
That's so wild. But then like, have you guys ever seen the video of the guy who lifts it up, scratches his head, and then puts it back down?
That's the kind of shit I'd be doing
Yeah.
with the toupee.
yeah. He like takes it off really. He doesn't even take it fully off. He like lifts the top part off, scratches like the crown of his head, and then puts it back on.
Well, because it's like on
like
a
itching
pad.
your brain.
Yeah.
So like, it's got to get hot.
It's got to get
It's
sweaty.
got to get sweaty. Yeah. It's
hot
like
and
hot
sweaty.
summer day.
It just
You're
starts
outside-
sliding off. You're like,
Oh,
no.
Goopy.
Oh, hold on, my hair's sticky.
Whew, gotta
guys.
air this thing out.
Whoosh.
Crack the top open.
Well, that's like the people. Like, have you ever seen the videos?
By
of
the way,
people?
there's a guy who was smuggling cocaine under his toupee.
Oh yeah, that is.
But yeah,
what we were
continue.
talking
No,
about.
it doesn't matter anymore. I want to continue to talk about toupees.
No, the videos of the people who will like laugh so hard that their fake teeth fall out,
Yeah.
and they
Oh,
have
yeah.
to be like, "Oh, sorry," and then they like click them back in.
I've known people with fake teeth like that.
No disrespect to them.
I have a fake tooth.
I would
not like that, but
I have. Yeah, I don't have a fake tooth like that, but I have a fake
I
tooth.
was gonna say, I
so,
think
like,
all of us have a
Yeah.
fake tooth, right?
No,
Yeah.
no disrespect to the fake teethers out
Yeah.
there. It's just one of those things that's funny. That's like, oh damn it. I think the sentiment is, oh well, at least you can make light of it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if I can laugh at it and you can laugh at it, okay, that's cool. If there's
Like
a
the
guy,
legless guy at the shoe store.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the legless guy at the shoe store. If you can lift up your toupee, scratch it, and put it back down, we can all have a laugh.
Yeah, dude.
That's fine. You're bald, but you
that's
like
what
having
I'd be
hair.
doing. I'd be doing that with the
So
toupee.
good.
That seems like something you see in a NASCAR race. You're sitting there, and the guy in front of you lifts up his toupee and gives a little scratch, airs it out.
Has the visor on, takes his
Yeah.
visor off, takes his toupee
The
off.
toupee comes with the visor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like a Scotty Too
yeah.
Hottie deal.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I would probably go to Turkey, depending. Because again, if it's like $5,000, fuck it. I feel like that's not bad.
Also, we've seen like a huge resurgence in people wearing wigs.
Yeah,
People with
definitely.
hair will just wear wigs now.
I don't think that I
as
would
a style.
I don't think that I would ever do that. I think about when I have my head shaved, because right now I have hair. You know,
Yeah.
when I have my head shaved, I do think it would be funny just to buy like fake wig, like very fake looking
Yeah.
wigs, and wear them
Dude,
sometimes.
that'd be such a good.
Because it would be funny. Because
Go-
it would just be funny.
You gotta do it for like a party and see if anyone says anything.
Right. Just because I think like that would kind of be a good
Yeah.
move. Just for and have like a couple of them. So
Yeah.
Get a
like
mullet.
you see
Every
me a
time you see
different
'em,
time.
yeah.
It's a different wig.
Dude,
You're like,
that'd be
man.
such a good bit.
But they're all really bad, like neon
Yeah.
green bob
Don't
cut or
play it
something like
off,
that.
yeah.
Right. So what's up, guys? Yeah, you just have like a neon pink bob cut. What's up, guys? How we doing?
I think that's a really good bit.
I think it'd be really funny.
Just
And
go to
like
Party City and start buying wigs.
I'm normally bald, and so that's something that would be like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a good bit. Like,
Well, you'd have to do the first time. So go to like to Party City and buy like a bob wig or something, but then also go in and put a few cuts in it so it looks like
yeah,
it's still
yeah.
growing
Yeah,
out.
hold on. I gotta wait till you guys see me next time.
Yeah,
And then it's like purple and a mohawk. What's up, guys? They're like really long. Like,
You got like Steven Tyler hair, Verjao wig on the next time.
okay, so this guy smuggled cocaine in his hair.
Yeah, in his toupee.
He was getting on a flight to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And was scanned, obviously, because TSA.
Yeah.
Right.
And they found 19 pouches of cocaine in his toupee.
Good move. Would have worked if he didn't get on a plane.
Don't get on a plane.
Yeah.
with
Take a
cocaine.
boat.
Yeah.
Take a fucking boat. Like, this is a good move. No one's checking your hair if you don't have to go through an x-ray.
Here's the thing, man.
What is it, man?
I think I'd be checking out his fucking hair. His weird looking lumpy ass hair.
The crazy part, so I'm looking at this picture. This guy definitely shaved his head to put this toupee
Yeah,
on.
right.
Like, this was
right.
his plan.
Right.
Didn't even have time to find a bald guy.
It would look it would look lumpy on your head because you have 19 bags of cocaine in it.
Yeah. They look like little tea candles.
Like a toupee or a wig looks good because your head is bald under it. You don't have hair under it to make it look weird and lumpy.
Maybe this guy was just hoping they'd think it was a bad toupee.
If you have like 19 sacks of cocaine under your toupee,
We've all had 19 sacks of cocaine. We know how lumpy that gets.
it's gonna look visibly like there's something wrong with either your head or your hair. You know, like it's not gonna. I don't think Now, granted, I've never seen somebody with 19 grams of
that you know of, that you've noticed.
You're right, I guess. They could be hiding in plain sight.
That's what I'm saying.
They could be among us, like the video game.
Amogus?
Yeah.
Amogus Bobby?
But, like, it would just probably look like a bad... Like, it wouldn't look real. If I were TSA, I'd say...
You would think.
Let me see that hair.
You would think. 216-859-8699. Let me see that hair. Ah!
Hey.
The fuck was that? It was a little pitchy, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just hanging
You you started out pitchy and then it got flat. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to help you with that. But if anyone's gonna be able to help you, it's gonna be Synergy Music Studio based out of Chicago, because they can take your old tracks and run it through their reamping service to get it exactly to your liking. I can't guarantee anyone else is going to like it, Shane, but they'll get it exactly to your liking. So if you need recording, mixing, mastering, production, or any other kind of studio session work, Synergy Music Studio on the outskirts of Chicago, Illinois is the place to go. SynergyMusicStudio.com is the website to check out their full lexicon of services and more. You can also listen to some of the artists they produce there to get an idea of how yours will sound. Once again, SynergyMusicStudio.com, proud supporter of WSRR Radio and the independent music scene. You can listen to us if you're listening on this Monday evening on WSRRadio.com, the Live 365 app wherever you go in your car stereo, or the US-radio.com website. Again, whoever put us on there, shout out to you.
Thank you.
And the reason that we are nationally local, saving the underground music scene, is because there are too many radio monopolies that say that they're local radio, but play the same 40 songs for the past 40 years in the same rotation, every day, every week.
Boo!
I used to be a fan of monopolies. Back when you could collect $200, pass and go, avoid the waterworks, you know.
Going to jail.
Going to jail, managing my assets while I'm in jail, getting out free. I used to be a fan of monopolies. Not anymore. They've become too mainstream.
What's going on? What's going on with these monopolies, huh?
There's a new monopoly set to come out in August 2025, and they have done away with the cash. So
it's realistic. There's no money. Gotcha.
It kind of is realistic.
There is an app that is supposed to be downloaded that will keep track of your transactions and everything. When you pass go, it gives you 200, you know. It does it all for you.
In theory, not a bad idea. My issue is we're too late for this. We have virtual Monopoly. We have it on the Xbox or the Switch or the PlayStation. You can play it on your phone.
Right.
We have this.
Well,
there's already a Monopoly app.
Original Monopoly if you don't fucking like it.
Why are we talking about it?
So, a bunch of parents are very upset with the concept of doing away with the cash because it's not teaching children how to count money or count in general or do math.
I've never met a single child in my life, and I've been one. I've never met a single child in my life that learned to count from Monopoly.
Yeah.
Fair.
Neither have I. What the hell? That doesn't make sense.
You finish your homework and your parents like, no, you can't watch TV. You've got to do something educational. Go get Monopoly.
But
the article is confusing. Monopoly app banking has a similar board to the traditional Monopoly board, but now it features kid-friendly alternatives to the mainstay properties. So they're saying that it's kid-friendly.
So it's made for kids to play on their phones. So you have to have a kid that has a phone to play this Monopoly.
Motherfucker.
Imagine being 8 and going to your rich friend's house and he breaks out the cell phone Monopoly and you can't play.
Oh, you don't have a cell phone, do you?
Segregation is all this is.
Poor people problems.
They're bringing back the caste system with this one.
It seems you need to play
Hasbro.
Seems you need to play Monopoly with cash, old boy.
They have an old Monopoly set where you can have currency with it.
Here's the cash for you. I'll be using my app.
Yeah, it seems very why.
Yeah, right.
Because Monopoly has to have a version for absolutely everything.
No, if they wanted to make it realistic for modern culture, all the tiles, all the spaces would be a QR code you have to scan because you can't get anything fucking physical anymore. You have to scan a QR code for menus and shit now.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to make it like modern Monopoly, they'd have a QR code you have to scan for every fucking thing.
Probably is a QR code somewhere. Yeah, wait. I could be tripping. Buttholes, but that looks like a little QR code card.
You're right. It is a QR code. Well, look at that. I think it's all the property cards it looks like have QR codes. Well, look at that. I work at Hasbro now.
Yeah.
Sign me.
It is pretty. So you guys are big Monopoly people. So how do you?
No, actually, I'm anti-Monopoly. That's why I started the station, Shane.
Nice
try, asshole.
So many Monopoly copies.
No, that's probably my favorite game. It's one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
Because I don't lose in it, Shane. I just don't lose at Monopoly.
You can't lose.
It's in the rules.
Why?
Because I've got the money, and I've got the property.
You have the smartphone.
Yeah, I got the phone. Yeah, I got the. I'm playing 4D chess over here.
I have to use my lowly paper dollars. How dare I?
We don't accept cash. Cashless Monopoly, buddy.
This isn't the first time Monopoly's done away with cash. They have
isn't there like
Monopoly.
a card? Isn't there a credit card one?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's right. Stop trying to reinvent Monopoly. It
That's-
works.
That's also what I'm saying. Why do we need literally umpteen million different versions of Monopoly?
I've got about 6 out there.
Yeah.
I
But
think that...
we have
But hear me
bought
out.
Probably 2 of them.
I have 6 Monopolies.
I
You're
run
cooked.
I run
You're not
every-
winning this game.
You cannot start a business in
You're
any,
cooked,
in
dude.
any field. I have a monopoly.
Don't even try. This is all front. WSR Radio, it's part of a network.
Yeah.
I bought 7 other stations with it, buddy. Yeah, local radio. Good luck. No, so I have like 6 copies of Monopoly out there, but I bought 2 of them specifically because I saw them at a thrift store, and they were all intact, packaged up still, and
Right.
one's from 1974 and one's from like 81. So I'm like, oh, cool, old Monopolies. That's kind of
Right,
neat. And
right.
it's all still there. I have those. I have a Pokemon Monopoly that came out in 2001. That's like some super rare collector's item now.
Before or after the towers?
Before the towers, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, this is pre 9/11 Monopoly.
Okay.
That was the peak Pokemon. Pre 9/11 Pokemon.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
peak Pokemon.
After 9/11. they
After
really
those towers,
started hating on Pokemon.
Yeah, man. They really, the Twin Towers really had an effect on palate sound. Let me tell you. So I have that one. There's what the hell else is out there? Monopoly Red versus Blue, which is
yeah.
the political one that someone got me as a Christmas gift.
We have Monopoly Go Green, Miss Monopoly. We have...
Is that like Miss Pac-Man?
Yes.
It's,
It's just Miss Pac-Man. You open it up,
basically-
there's a board with ghosts.
Walk out.
If you play and you're a
Stupid.
man, you pay more.
Yeah. I didn't buy that one.
That's funny as fuck.
But there's, I think there's 2 others out there. I have no idea.
I don't know, but the point of this is like I didn't buy them because they're gimmicky.
Mhm.
This Monopoly is one of those things that you don't have to fucking gimmick up, at least a lot.
Right.
Like
right.
I understand the niche ones of like there's Parma-opoly and Cleveland-opoly.
Right.
I think every city has their own Monopoly variant
Right.
that like funds some kind of local shop or whatever, some
Yeah,
kind of local
sure,
apparel shop. So I get those because they're niche. I had Monopoly Here and Now. Growing up was like the home Monopoly game we had,
Mhm.
and all it was Monopoly for the 2000s. It was the same board, it was the same concept, except instead of getting $5, you had $500 because everything was expensive,
Right.
but everything like equated to the same value.
Right.
And it had modern places on it. So like that's all it was. But they keep trying to step it up. They had like Cheaters Edition with handcuffs.
Yeah.
Stop adding gimmicks to it.
We have that one.
I think that is my like. I think
Swipe card.
It's the same sentiment as yours. I'm okay with like Pokemon Monopoly,
Yeah.
where it's exactly the same. It just looks like Pokemon, or Mario Monopoly,
Sure.
where it's exactly the same, just looks like Mario.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is weird when they do like cheater Monopoly or card Monopoly or card no cash Monopoly.
Yeah.
Like when there is that gimmick to it. I don't
There's a
think
spinner now. Yeah.
right. You don't need that. It's Monopoly. It's fine.
I will say
I agree with that sentiment.
The card Monopoly game is pretty solid.
Monopoly Deal.
Yeah.
That is a good one. Monopoly Deal is fun. We used to play it before radio shows. Monopoly Deal. Guess what I always won? Monopoly Deal.
I
kept it in my bag. Never left home without it.
It's just like
we got an argument. Let's play it over Monopoly Deal.
It seems like they did it one time
Yeah.
and it was like kind of successful,
Yeah.
and so they're like, "Oh, we'll just do different gimmicks all the time, and people will love it."
Well, so here's the thing.
They have them for all the shows that you can ever think of.
WSRR Monopoly.
Yeah, we have one. It came
Go
out 2
buy
weeks
it.
ago.
Why haven't you bought it
Yeah.
yet?
There's the thimble. It's the only piece. All of them are thimbles for
Yeah.
some reason. We
Yeah.
couldn't control it. They
That's
had-
the only
they
difference.
Said it had to
That's
be.
the only difference.
Yeah. It's nothing special about the.
It's a regular Monopoly logo on the board with a little WSRR logo in the
Yeah,
corner.
It's got the skull on it. Yeah.
And then it's just all thimbles. That's the only
Yeah,
difference.
that's-
Other than that, it is regular Monopoly.
But you have to have 6 players. They did put that in there. My grandma had Monopoly Junior from like the early 90s. So like these variants aren't new. And
Is that
Monopoly Junior was the
like
same thing.
Monopoly for ants.
Yes. It's a school for ants.
Yeah.
No, Monopoly Junior was like children's Monopoly, but it was the same game.
Yeah, see, like, how do you make it for children?
It might have been like a slightly smaller board,
or like a
maybe?
simpler game
Yeah, a
function.
little less complex.
Right.
Monopoly's not a complex game.
That's kind of what I'm
But I
saying,
mean,
though. Like,
for
how do you make it
young children
for kids?
I don't know,
Take
man.
out hotels.
No,
just
I was
whoever
playing
buys
Monopoly
up
when
the
I was
most
like young, like
Yeah, I
4 or
was
5.
out the womb.
I agree.
Literally,
Had Monopoly deal on me, actually.
Day 3. They were
That-
like, hey, my mom was like, hey, yo, you want to play Monopoly?
All
I
right,
was
what
like,
we do
"Fuck
now?
Yeah, dude.
Now you're here, so might as well
Said-
play Monopoly.
Yeah. Said,
That
pull out the
Clue.
Monopoly board, dude. I'm bored.
I'm gonna start showing up places with Monopoly. Like, hey, you coming over for Christmas? I'll bring Monopoly. You don't gotta do that.
You're
No one
gonna-
asked you to bring Monopoly.
Yeah, so don't.
I'm gonna start showing up with Monopoly.
Don't.
Super Bowl party. Brought Monopoly. If anyone wants to play.
You're going to be playing Monopoly by yourself. I don't know.
Just always want to have that option. I'll set it up and just leave it if anyone wants to.
Yeah, just have this.
tray.
Just clear off the whole snack tray. Or the whole snack table.
Better yet, I'm going to host a party and I'm just going to have Monopoly set up on a table somewhere.
Hey,
Just
you
in
guys-
case anyone wants to walk over and play it at any
You
point.
guys want snacks? I got Monopoly, so you can play
Snacks
that.
are all around the Monopoly board, so you have to focus on it. It'll
Just
make
like
you want to play.
A couple chips on the table.
It's 1 cup.
I don't like Monopoly.
I think so. My point was going to be I blame Uno for it, for all the changes and gimmicks. But like I think Monopoly was doing it first because I remember Monopoly Junior from the early '90s, a little before your time. But it's like Uno is
You weren't around in the early
well,
90s.
I remember Monopoly Junior though.
Yeah.
But Uno is peak of like it has to change the formula every time.
Yeah.
Dude, are you talking shit on Dos right now?
No, Dos, Tres, Cuatro, all of them. They're all out there. But like you got Uno Flip.
Okay.
You remember the what the hell was it? The card shooter Uno. That's the one we had in my house growing up. We had the big machine where you hit it
Yeah.
and it would shoot cards at you. They had the cash gun at one point.
That's true. They did.
Yeah.
That was Monopoly.
My family.
But Uno also had a card gun.
Yeah.
My family beat me, so
Oh.
we didn't have game night all that often. I don't know much about these.
Well, if you want, I can break out Monopoly. I can set it up next week. Well, we play the show and just have it on the table in the studio in case anyone wants to play. I'm not saying we have to. I'll have it set up if you want. If anyone wants to play, anyone can.
Next to the
It's just there,
next to the snacks.
right next to the board.
Oh.
Have Monopoly
Okay.
set up.
Hasbro does Barbie, right?
Yeah.
Mattel does Barbie.
Or no,
Oh,
You fucking
Mattel.
idiots. You fucking...
Fuck.
All of you.
Yeah.
All of you fake fans. I am the only real Barbie fan here.
Two women in the room both said, "Yeah."
Yeah, no, yeah, you fucking
We
wish.
weren't
Barbie
paying
fans.
attention.
You
okay?
weren't enough.
Barbie fans.
Fake fans. Don't even know Mattel does Barbie. Come on.
I read the comics because I feel embarrassed if I don't know the lore about the movies.
Oh, dude, I knew the manga going in. I studied 3 days before I watched the Barbie movie.
Has Hasbro made toy movies yet? Have they
No.
crossed that threshold? Because that is
No.
definitely something that Mattel is doing. now.
Yeah.
They're making like other physical toys into movies now.
Isn't there
after
like
Barbie.
an Etch-a-Sketch movie or something like
There's
that?
a whole.
Well, I remember we
there's an
talked
8-ball
about 'em.
movie that's supposed to be like
That's
kind
what it
of
is.
horror.
We talked about this, like, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess probably not too many of them have come to fruition, but we've talked about how, and I think it was even like we talked about this before the Barbie movie came out.
Yeah, for
that they
sure.
were doing
Mhm.
all of these different Hasbro movies, and so or what is it, Mattel movies.
Yeah.
So I wonder where those are, and like I wonder how those are gonna look. Like,
From what I understand, Mattel was supposed to be like a universe. Like Barbie was going to be the cornerstone of it. They were going to do like an MCU kind of thing where it was going to be like a one
Yeah.
synonymous universe of Mattel where all of these movies exist.
and it's also weird because like Mattel did really well, or Barbie did really well.
Yeah.
Like, where are
Did Barbie do better than Oppenheimer?
Yes.
Did it?
Slop and Slimer? Yeah, it did.
Okay. You don't play Monopoly?
I kind of Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
That one's coming soon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. WWE Slam City.
Oh, of course.
I remember that. You don't remember that. That was a little
Yeah.
before your time.
A little before my time.
Yeah. Slam City was it was toys that they made into a show on CW maybe. WWE Slam City.
Barney. Oh, Barney's getting a new movie. I forgot about that. Thomas and Friends. Okay. Polly Pocket.
Hell yeah.
Rock'em
Dude,
Sock'em
I love my
Robots.
Polly Pocket.
Yeah, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. We talked about this. Rock'em Sock'em
Yeah,
Robots.
I think it was
and,
Rock Like a Robots we
and
talked about.
Uno. And then like Hot Wheels is
Oh, so
getting
Uno's
a movie.
Mattel.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Wait,
No,
wait,
that
wait.
was episode 1. Uno's Mattel. I read the rules on air. Yeah, I know that. So was
Mhm.
Barbie. You didn't know that.
Wait. Yeah. Oh,
You
but
didn't
then,
know it.
But then here I'm confused because
Hot Wheels too, yeah.
okay, Wishbone.
What's the story? That Wishbone? Are you talking like Operation?
I'm just saying I want.
They should make Operation a movie, Shane.
They made Battleship a movie.
What if they make Operation a movie?
They
and
actually
it's just
have
an
done
hour
this.
of accidentally fucking up somebody's procedure.
They actually have done this. Battleship was a movie. Do you think that's related to the Barbie movie?
Yes.
In
it's
the
got
same
universe, yeah.
Interesting.
Because we have Barbie world and you have the real world, right? So in the real world, there was a fucking war. There was a war going on at sea in the real world on the coast.
Dude, Rihanna was in Battleship. Rihanna sunk my battleship. So
You can watch it on Tubi. That's how good it was.
So there's that, you know?
All I'm saying is the Monopoly variants need to stop. We don't need this much gimmick. Especially when we have digital Monopoly already.
Yeah.
I don't even like Monopoly.
Dude, that's where you're wrong.
It's just not that good.
Okay, hang on. Maybe you can relate to this, though. Because, like, there's people who like board games, and then there's board game people.
Okay.
Right? So, like, I think it's a weird conversation when someone says, hey, what's your favorite, like, board game, right? And a lot of people say, like, Monopoly, Sorry, things like that, Chutes and Ladders, Candyland, of course. Got to throw that one in there. But, like, you say something like, Seven Wonders. No one knows the fuck you're talking about. Betrayal on House of the Hill. No one knows the fuck you're talking about. But, like, those are, like, legit like $70 to go buy this board game.
Yeah, that's the difference between, like, a casual
fucking loser and a normal person.
Yeah, a
family night game and like actual board games.
Well, and also too, I would have to assume that a lot of like Settlers of Catan and stuff like that all got really popular because there was a whole generation of kids who were tired of playing the same 7 board games. And so then now we're seeing a big uptick in like cool board games that are actually releasing. Like, think about House of Betrayal or
Betrayal
whatever.
on House of the Hill.
Betrayal on House of the Hill and like Settlers of Catan and
Secret Werewolf. What was it called? Overnight Secret Werewolf or something.
Yeah, but like think about all of these board games that we would play.
Yeah.
Those are all like newer games.
Yeah,
you know?
that's fair.
Yeah.
And so
Settlers of Catan isn't.
Settlers isn't super new, but like they're all not like Sorry and Uno and whatever made in the 70s, like Boggle,
right.
You know, like all these games came out in like the 70s and then they just stopped making board games for a while. And so I wonder if that's also like, well, Monopoly's boring because this is the last generation's game and now there's, you know, Betrayal or Bang or something like that.
I think it's a weird culture though, because everyone got so accustomed to board game meeting Monopoly or Sorry or Chutes and Ladders, right? But like you say, hey, you want to play a board game, and that's what people think of. I think it really fucks that dynamic up of like, no, like there's actual games that take skill and like are fun and aren't just going around playing the game of life and spinning a dial. I think it's a weird dynamic because like. It is a hard sell now because of it for no reason.
Yeah.
Like if I said, hey, you want to come over and play Gears of War? You know exactly what you're getting into.
Right. But if it's you say, hey, let's play this board game.
Yeah.
You're like,
oh, why does he want to play Monopoly?
Right.
Which I will.
I don't
you want to play Monopoly Deal?
See, I want to play. I don't know.
I do.
I don't want to make a deal.
I want to play Risk.
Oh, I love Risk. Risk's another one that's great.
I think Uno might be the only like old board. Oh, I like Sorry too.
I was gonna say Sorry's good.
Sorry's fun.
But they even tried to reinvent the wheel of Sorry. Remember the fucking Sorry slide shit?
Yeah.
That's not, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But Monopoly keeps doing it.
Yeah, I don't think that you need
because they
to.
have a monopoly on the board game market. Monopoly has a stranglehold on the board game market, Shane.
It's funny because I do think that you might be right. Like people think, oh, I'm gonna buy him a board game.
You think Monopoly.
You think Monopoly.
Did you know Monopoly actually changed the size of their box because it didn't fit in a very popular shelf from IKEA?
Really?
That's interesting.
Is that why it's small now?
It went from the long rectangle to the square, so it would fit on a very specific shelf from IKEA.
I'll say this. If someone asks me to play Monopoly and they break out the long box, I'm so much more excited to play Monopoly.
I agree.
I don't know why. It's just something about seeing that old long box. It really gets me going.
Long box.
And brings me back to when my pappy would say, boy, sit down. It's time to break out the long box.
I got the long box.
And he'd whip that thing out and slap it on the table. And he'd say, you're the thimble.
He'd say,
and I'd say, but Pop, I want to be the race car this time. And he said, shut up, boy. You know damn well you're the thimble.
Pappy.
Just me? All right.
I wanted the short box.
No, dude, small box Monopoly ain't it. This doesn't feel right.
The hell's going on?
What? Monopoly gets a major overhaul in 2025, built for speed.
Oh.
Monopoly is supposed to be a long game. I don't want to play a quick game when
We're
Monopoly.
playing a long game.
Just
here.
like I don't. If I'm playing Risk, I know I'm in it for 6 hours. I know I'm locked in. I don't want to play a quick game of Monopoly.
I'm not locked in for 6 hours.
Dude, I've done 6 hour Risk.
I can't.
I think it was longer, actually.
I can't.
And I guess what? I was the victor.
I
was in the war room, Shane.
You were the dictator.
At that point, 6 hours of Risk, the battlefield is empty, and I am the lone survivor. Nobody has won that war.
That's
and
the game I'm bringing to parties. You guys want to play a little Risk? You guys
it's going to be 6 hours of pain.
You guys get 6 free hours tonight. What are you doing between 12 and 6?
Hopefully, Risk.
Losing in Risk is the answer.
Yeah, and like the other thing so this new Monopoly that gets rid of the cash is trying to advertise like that they use cards, and the cards hold cash. But again, they already did that.
Yeah.
With the card version.
No, it's dumb. I think the only way to properly spend your cash is at WSRradio.com on our shop.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
We have a brand new shop, in fact, at WSRradio.com/merch. You can check out all the new shop items now on the website. You can also check out all of our awesome sponsors. Isn't that right, Shane?
Yeah. I love them all and kiss them.
Like Synergy Music Studio out of Chicago, Illinois, GenericClothes.com, and Hellbender Vinyl out of Pittsburgh, PA, but also on WSRradio.com. You can get our full list of showtimes, schedules, and more, like the Rebel Radio Show at 5 p.m. Eastern every Monday, and Rebel replays throughout the week. You can listen to Shaney's Off Air. You can listen to The Pigeonhole and our morning drive as well. That includes indie artist interviews, The Grab Bag, and Behind Enemy Lines, our Cleveland sports show from Pittsburgh, PA, with Lucas and Dom. And don't forget, Generic Clothes has teamed up with them for the March Madness Tournament. Bracketology begins March 16th, but you can enter today, 216-859-8699 if you want more details on it. But all you need to know is for $1 to WSRR Radio on Venmo, you get your invite code for March Madness. You get set up, you pick your bracket, and if you come in first, you take away a free shirt from GenericClothes.com. So you're going to want to do that. Also, make sure to check out True Vault Escapades at 10 p.m. weekdays right here on WSRR Radio. Happens all throughout the week. It's from Preston Hardin. It's the Fallout-based radio drama. They do an excellent job on that as well. Make sure you talk to all of us in the Discord server if you want to talk more about Monopoly or plastic surgery or Legos or
anything.
Dogs with guns. Just let us know. Yeah. It's at WSRradio.com. Get you the link to the Discord server as well as all of our socials. So make sure you head there. Until next time, I've been Radio's Rebel DJ Stouts. Am I right, Shani?
Bye, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Adios.
Peace. Peace.